Hello, and welcome to Make Some Noise, Season 2 for 2025. I am your new host for the year. My name is Afnan. I am a student of the science faculty. I'm in my second year, and I am a new editor for Noise. Just a little bit more information about myself if you're interested. I am a massive nerd. I am studying a degree of biotechnology, and I hope to bring some of my levity and incredibly unbiased opinions to all the future articles that I will hopefully be penning and editing for Noise. Welcome to our next segment, where we will be discussing the upcoming trimester changes.
Hello, I'm Mia. I am going to be asking Afnan some questions this time around because Afnan's actually the writer of this lovely article.
I am.
So we're
Please look
swapping
out for
over
that.
host positions.
Yes, we are.
All right, I wanted to start off. Do you just want to give us a little bit of an overview of this article and why we're speaking about this today?
Yeah, sure. So, as all current and incoming UNSW students will know, UNSW currently operates under a trimester academic calendar. It's in the name. We have 3 teaching periods throughout the year, plus a optional summer term, which is, I believe, 5 weeks. And it's one of the main sort of points that gets brought up in a lot of the advertising and all of that for UNSW as like a big draw. It's advertised as something that helps to sort of fast track your degree, reduce the amount of time that you're doing this. This was introduced back in 2019. It was fully applied to the entire university all the way back in 2019. And last year, it was the 5th year of this system being in place. And so a review was conducted by university to check how it's going and how they're going to be moving forward with that. And on that, currently, the UNSW has come to sort of 2 options moving forward.
So do you want to go over those structures and the changes that are to come?
Yeah, absolutely. So the 2 different structures that UNSW is looking at into adopting in the future for the academic year is a slightly updated version of a trimester model, which will have some similarities and some differences that I'll go over in a second. And the other one is going to be a semester model, so you're going to have 2 slightly longer teaching periods throughout the year. And this is much more in line with what the standard for most other universities is, which could potentially be fantastic for a lot of students, because this will help you line up with your friends if they're going to different unis. And just also with I believe the holiday periods will line up better with school holidays, New South Wales public school holidays. So if you've got family and stuff that are currently in primary school or high school, it'll be fantastic for making it more flexible for you and your family.
So can I ask you as well whether students are being consulted on this? Because I do recall that in 2019 that wasn't so much the case.
Yes. So with how the project is sort of being governed, a lot of the selection committees are more based around faculty. However, there is multiple advisory bodies belonging to different parts of the university, such as the education staff and also a lot of student advisory as well, particularly from the SRC. I spoke to the current SRC president, DS and Gupta, about this a while earlier, and do have it on good authority. There has been a lot of, but there has been communication between the student body, the student representative council, and the broader advisory groups, selection committees, and all that, which mostly centers on about university students' personal experiences under the trimester model, especially more anecdotal stuff, how it's affected them, etc.
Fabulous. So can I ask you as well when these changes are going to be coming into place?
Yeah, absolutely. So with the changes that will be coming into place, it's currently estimated that the current timeline is estimated that the changes will be enacted at the earliest in 2027, and that is 2027 if the updated trimester model is chosen, and it will be 2028 if the semester model is picked. Just because the semester model will require a little bit of a larger overhaul as opposed to the trimester, because it's obviously just a slight tweak on the current system.
Can I ask you as well, are there any kind of problems that you foresee with either of these models? Is there something that you're kind of leaning towards more as a choice?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So one of the sort of issues that I've seen, potentially issues or boons, depending on how you look at it and how it becomes fully structured, is that the change to the exam periods. So, as we know, at the end of each teaching period, there is a roughly 2-week period of exams, and also a sort of student vacation that's sort of slotted in before that, mainly for the purposes of revision and in preparation of your final examinations. Under both of these systems, that student vacation is going to be reduced by 1 day or 1 weekday, as well as on the trimester model, you're going to have your 12-day exam period reduced down to 10. So that's going to be a lot more condensed, but that's remaining the same length for the semesters. As for any other, like, sort of big issues potentially, there's going to be a lot of course restructuring if the semester model is picked. Obviously, one of the big draws of the trimester model is that it does fast track your degree by quite a huge amount. You're taking an extra teaching period. And there's a pro and a con to both, where yes, you're potentially completing your degree faster, but each of these courses that you're going to be taking, they're 3 weeks shorter almost. And that's going to be putting a lot more pressure on you as a student in getting through a lot of this really hefty content much faster. So it sort of depends on you as an individual and how you adapt to learning, I feel. If you're somebody who works fantastically under really rapid conditions, the trimester model, if that's kept, it'll greatly continue to benefit you because you'll get through your degree quick, get out into the workforce or whatever you're planning for your future much faster. The semester model, it'll keep you in tertiary education a little bit longer, but you'll have a little more free time and time to focus on your studies during each teaching period.
Absolutely. Thanks very much for your update.
Yeah, no problem. Hello, and welcome to Silly Hour.
Yippee!
We're so back, Chad.
I've
We're
missed
so
you
back.
guys.
Yeah.
You know who it is. We don't even have to introduce ourselves these days.
I mean, there might be a lot of new first years.
That's true, maybe we should.
Absolutely. So, for any of our new listeners, I am joined by the queens of Silly Hour, Mia and Diya.
Hello, friends.
Hi,
We're so
welcome.
excited to be back for Silly Hour. Last year was so much fun, and we're going to make this year even better.
And welcome to our new listeners.
Very big welcome to all of you. Shout out.
I guess, like,
Alright.
very quickly, what is Silly Hour? Which is in between, like, your uni news and big changes and advice and stuff. We have our little Girls on a Couch segment,
Yeah, exactly.
where we pick a topic every week and we're just girls on a couch.
Yeah, we just have a fun little time. We have a little
Yeah.
chat. We choose something to talk about, and Afnan joins us because he is just as fun as we are.
Thank you.
So today's topic is going to be our 2025 predictions, as we did last year. This is kind of a re-record.
I feel like, just very quickly, I think none of our predictions came true from last year.
No, they didn't. You're right.
0 of them came true.
Very few of my predictions from last year came true, actually. The ones the year before were really good. This year, like last year I did really badly, but this year I'm hoping to do better.
My goal for this year, cutting to resolutions already, is to have at least one prediction come true.
I agree
for
with
this time
that. So we're
next
going to do predictions, of course, but we're also going to do some of our resolutions, whatever we want to kind of do in this year to make some things different.
Yeah. Right. who
Afnan,
we-
do you want to start? with
Sure.
A little prediction?
I'll start us off. Okay, so my first big prediction.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to say, the one thing that we
Yes.
should also mention is that we did try to write predictions for each other, as well as for, like, celebrities and things like that.
Yes.
I did not. I failed in that category.
Okay, fair, but
But
we
I do
did,
have,
'cause
like,
we're cool.
general noise predictions.
Okay, nice. I like that.
Excited to hear that. All right, to kick things off, as many of you may know, this is a federal election year. We've already started seeing some campaigning from all the major parties and a lot of the minor parties too. So my first main prediction, it's a little bit of a dig at our favorite Caillou knockoff, Peter Dutton, who is the main Prime Minister candidate from the Liberal Party. Now, my main prediction is, if any of you have been following any of his shenanigans in Parliament, he is sort of how I would describe a Diet Coke version of Trump, but in a way that's quite Australian. And my main prediction is Dutton is somehow going to become Prime Minister, despite
Don't
nobody
say that,
wanting
man.
to do that.
Come on.
But here's the prediction. He's going to make it illegal to make fun of his baldness, which I've already failed at. And this is going to inspire all the lovely activists we have here in Australia to put up posters featuring artwork of him as Humpty Dumpty. I believe...
This is a crazy fucking
There's
prediction.
so many
There
steps.
are so many layers to this prediction. My predictions are usually like 3 words. This
Right.
is crazy,
Great.
man.
But-
I love it.
Are you guys seeing the vision
I'm
here?
totally seeing the vision.
I love it.
Right?
It's
yeah,
amazing.
it's great.
It's fantastic. He's one of my favorite politicians, not because of his policies, but because of the sheer amount of just pure comedic potential from his existence.
Yeah, I totally
I
get
mean,
that.
he just looks like a hydrated Vecna from Stranger Things. Which, smash, by the way. Vecna, not Peter Dutton. I would
Glad you
not.
clarified.
I would not go near Dutton with a 10-foot pole. You would have to pay me as much money as all the corporations are paying him to even get within 100 meters of him. And I'm not fully confident if he's allowed 100 meters near anyone. I feel like they
Fair,
only
man.
let him out of his little golden cage full of caviar only during parliamentary meetings.
That's so funny.
Thank you,
Okay,
thank
we're
you.
going to go like around in a circle, I think.
Absolutely.
So, Diya,
We'll
it's your
head
turn.
to Diya.
Okay, I'm just gonna jump to one of my political predictions then, which I do have quite a bit of.
Let's go.
The US overturns same-sex marriage.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
That's an awful one.
Yeah,
It's awful, but
It's awful. It's terrible, and we're gonna see a lot more migration to Australia.
That's probably true. But also Dutton won't allow that.
But also,
Yeah.
Dutton isn't able to just make laws for the sillies the same way the Americans are.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
he'll try.
He'll try. He'll fail though.
I think it really hinges on whether or not my unfortunate predictions first half comes true, which I think it really comes down to you all the voters. Please don't vote him in.
Yeah.
He's
If you guys are voting for the first time, don't be silly.
yeah, please don't be silly. I feel like we should probably in one of the upcoming podcast episodes go over preferential voting.
I would love to do a
yeah.
system on preferential voting because we also use preferential
For
voting
SRC.
here for SRC, and
Yeah.
no one understands how preferential voting fucking works. So I would love
Yeah.
to do that. Okay, I'm gonna get into mine. I'm gonna also do like a general kind of celebrity and politics
Let's
prediction.
go.
Just to kind of keep it on the same vein. My prediction is that an A-list celeb is found to be an author of a well-known fandom Tumblr page.
Oh, that's just me.
Ooh.
You're not a
So
well-known celebrity.
Step one is me to become a well-known celebrity.
Fantastic.
Step
Do you want me to plug your Tumblr?
No.
I don't even have a Tumblr. I just wanted to say that I think that would be really funny. Like someone like an Ariana Grande, like something really like a little bit out of character.
Okay, that's a good point. Out of character would be super, super funny, but I'd like to say I 100% believe, without any doubt, and I'm willing to say as much in the court of law, Timothy Chalamet definitely writes some fanfic about
100%.
himself.
Yeah.
I have an Ariana Grande prediction, but I do want to quickly just add to your prediction about the A-list celebrity. I think it'd be really funny if Ariana Grande had a Wicked fan blog for Wicked the musical before she was in
I think
Wicked
she
the
probably
movie.
would have. She's
And-
one of those
Probably would,
people. And
yeah.
she was that much of a Wicked fan too.
Yes, and she wrote Elphaba X Glinda fanfic.
So true.
I mean, if you saw...
She is queer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, famously, she is.
no, and she
she's
also
a bit
famously
queer.
is in love with Cynthia. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So I think that would be extra amazing.
If any
Love
of you
that.
have seen any of the press releases they did upcoming to Wicked, it is so in like the tension between Cynthia
No,
and
they can't stop
Ariana.
holding hands. That's the only thing I know about it.
They look
They can't
like
stop
lesbian
holding
mothers,
hands.
and I love it.
Yes,
We love you guys. Great
It's-
movie though.
so good. I went into it sort of not
Fuck, we're
really
rambling.
knowing.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, this is gonna be such an
So
episode.
yeah, I went into it not knowing what to expect, and I had a fantastic time. I could not stop laughing during Defying Gravity, though. I'm gonna be honest. I know it's like,
It's crazy, hey.
yeah,
I just couldn't stop thirsting after Jonathan Bailey. My partner was sitting next
That
to me. We were both
is-
thirsting after Jonathan Bailey.
that is so. I feel like Jonathan Bailey has now entered the ranks of like Henry Cavill, Ryan Reynolds, and all these other men who just thirst for them just transcends all understanding of sexuality.
Yeah,
It's just
totally
these
true.
men. You just look at them and go, "Yeah, I'd smash."
Yeah, you're so right.
Yeah.
What's your next prediction,
you
my man?
Next prediction. Let's go on to something a little bit less political and a little bit more silly. I guess we could do some more celebrity stuff. I've in the last couple of years become a little bit of a hip hop head. You guys probably saw all the stuff about Kendrick Lamar and Drake last year. Very fun, hilarious. I've still got the entire beef on a playlist and I play it on repeat constantly. I have a feeling that Drake is going to do a whole other self-report. I mean, he's already coming down to Australia in February. I have a feeling he's going to say some very, very telling stuff accidentally on stage, and it's going to get... Okay, so to make this make sense, the analogy I'm going to introduce here is that Drake fans are essentially the MAGA of the music industry.
Yeah.
So what you're going to see is Drake is going to do the equivalent of the Elon Roman salute, as it has been dubbed. He's going to do...
As a Jew in the room, fucking hate that man.
Yes.
Drake comes out as a Nazi is basically
okay.
a roundabout.
That actually could very much happen. That is not where I was going, but I mean, come on, he's already been
New prediction
accused.
alert.
New
No, I
prediction
stand
alert.
by it.
Drake comes out as a neo-Nazi to cover his tracks as a pedophile.
That's
That's actually really funny.
Yeah. I mean, come
That's
on.
not funny at all, but sure.
No, it's just like it's
Crazy,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's like instead of just like people hating on him for being a like pedophile,
They
he's
hate him for
detracting.
being a neo-Nazi.
Which is actually really funny because his mother is actually of Jewish descent, of Jewish heritage descent.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he actually leaned into that early in his career, lying about his own religious faith, which really shitty of him, and he very famously does get called out by Kendrick on Meet the Grahams.
Cool.
However, that is greatly overshadowed by the rest of the scathing burns about him being a pedophile and a deadbeat dad. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Fair.
I'm gonna pass this on to Dia now.
Dia, your turn.
Okay. Luigi Mangione gets free. However, his
Free my boy.
His first thing back is a thirst trap on Twitter of a mirror selfie of him shirtless with low-rise pants, so you can just see the V-line with like a really like thirsty caption.
That's very funny.
Yeah.
I don't even have anything to add to that. I just think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I also predict he's just gonna have like a concealed carry just sticking out of the like underwear. Because come on, I feel like if I was in his shoes, I would 100% show up and do like a thirst trap.
He's
Like
got guns and buns, man.
exactly guns and buns. Like I would do like a slightly compromising position with the gun where his
Don't finish that sentence.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say my thing now. Don't
exactly.
finish that.
We're gonna move on to another prediction.
I'm gonna move on to a prediction about one of you guys, and my prediction is that Dia's name is spelt wrong on the Roundhouse.
Mine, I have a similar one, which is Gamamari spells my name wrong in an article and then refuses to correct it.
Probably would also happen.
What do you think the incorrect spelling would be? I feel
That's
like
what I'm saying.
Also,
It's
this
really
is the thing.
impressive.
Paige Sedgwick's name is spelt wrong on the Roundhouse. First of all, we
Wow.
have to say to any new listeners, all SRC presidents' names end up on the side of the Roundhouse. Paige Sedgwick has her name spelled wrong on the Roundhouse. I feel like if anyone's going to have theirs also spelled wrong, it's fucking Dia Sen Gupta. Like, it's going to happen.
No, No.
Gamamari would also probably do that, but hey.
Oh, well, Gamamari hasn't spelt my name incorrectly wrong.
But they have made a lot of incorrect, said a lot of incorrect things about
they've
you.
said a lot of incorrect things, which, like, not out of malice, just out of, like, sheer they didn't do their research.
Yeah.
And I think, okay, this is actually my prediction, I take it back, is that they call my full name Diya Reist. Because
that's so funny.
my Instagram.
That's your Instagram
so they're
handle,
going
yeah.
to just assume that's my full name.
Fantastic. All right, it is back to me. I am going to do a quick rapid fire of predictions for both Mia and Diya. Okay, please do not take offense to any of this.
We're not taking any offense.
Okay, fantastic. Diya, first of all, my prediction for you, you are going to fumble so many more baddies this year.
That's not a prediction.
No, that's not a prediction. That already happened last year. It's going to happen
listen,
again.
Fumbling
It's going to
baddies
be
is, like, my bad
triple.
signal.
It's going to be triple the amount.
Actually, no, because
last
I'm
year.
not in my dating era right now. I'm off the apps. I'm a busy booked girl. I do
But
not
you
have
still
time.
meet them
But I
anyway.
will still make time to fumble baddies. I just think that, like, the amount of baddies I have time to fumble has decreased as it has in the past when I was less booked and blessed.
Look,
Sure.
Diya Sengupta to fumbling baddies is crack addicts to crack, to put it simply. It's gonna happen. A prediction for you, Mia. I have a feeling you're gonna end up taking another course, probably something chemistry related again, and you're gonna
come on, don't
end
say
up.
this. I know what you're going to say. Please.
You know what I'm gonna say. You're gonna end up getting a TA that's even worse than last time.
Oh, come on.
Like,
Okay, guys,
every
I
year.
famously have always had terrible chemistry demonstrators for my courses, to the point where I've had to drop the course because I know I'm not going to learn anything from these
I'm
people
sorry,
because they're
it's
so
gonna
rude
happen.
to me. And Afnan knows about this law quite intensely.
We were actually, for a very limited time, in the same course.
We were.
Yeah.
But I had to drop it because my course demonstrator was awful and yours was lovely, and I'm
Mine
so
was
depressed.
the best.
I
Shout out
think it's
that
funny
demonstrator.
to just think that every year Mia does the course and then it just gets worse and then they do it again the
Guys,
next year and it
come
gets
on,
worse.
I need to take this fucking
and
course.
like I should have just done it with the first one because they were terrible, but in the grand scheme of things they're not as terrible as they.
Dia, your turn.
Okay, I guess I'll just say my noise one, which is that noise gets a cease and desist from a major political party.
Ooh,
Ooh.
don't wish that.
However, I also have a footnote to that, which is that it is the Victorian Socialists, which are not a
that's
major political
hilarious.
party.
Yeah.
They're a minor
No, I
political
get behind that.
party.
That's very
I was
funny.
gonna say one of my predictions for the year was that Noise was gonna get back into a major publication for a good reason,
Oh,
like have another SMH article, but like good.
oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that. That's
What I'm hoping
really
for the
good.
year.
Obviously, getting a cease and desist is not an ideal situation, but if it does happen, I hope it's from Pauline Hanson. Purely because now there is a Muslim voice on this podcast, and I
So
feel
true.
like it would be so very funny if about 2 weeks into the new year we were hit with a cease and desist.
That would be really funny.
Yeah.
All right,
Shout out to the immigrants.
I'm going to do my last prediction, which is a prediction for Afnan. And my prediction
Oh,
for
God.
Afnan is that Afnan gets into a very messy situationship, and we all get to hear snippets about it, and it generally gives us
I
a lot of
agree.
lore and funny vibes.
And I was thinking about this like just earlier on when both of you guys were talking about how young you are compared to me, because I'm like a grandma now, guys. I'm like so old.
She's
and
not
washed
that
up.
old.
I'm so haggard. I'm so washed up.
Do you want to borrow my cane? I have a really good cane at home that I don't really use. I can bring it in for you.
But no, I think that you're at the age where like everyone gets into a messy situationship, like turning 20 for the first time, tail end of being 19 is like the messy situationship. For the record,
Kat, I'm in a committed
well,
relationship.
for the record, and I will not elaborate on this, but I'm still crashing out over my messy relationship at the tail end of being 19, early end of being
Right.
20.
We know you're still crashing out about that. Okay, now we have to do rapid fire resolutions. You're not allowed to speak for more than a sentence. This is how that goes.
Oh, God. Okay.
Just say the thing and move on.
I want to try more cheeses this year.
Such a good
That's
resolution.
good
Love it.
one.
I tried Gouda for the first time a while back, and like Swiss cheese. So good.
Love that.
I
Absolutely
good.
love it.
love cheese, and I love doing activities that you can only do in Canberra, and then just like buying every cheese I can buy.
That's I always have a
That'll
lot
probably
of weird
count.
cheeses in my fridge because
Okay,
I love
know
a
we
cheese.
said rapid fire, but I
No,
have,
rapid fire, man. Come on.
I have to ask, what activities can only be done in
No,
Canberra?
you know what?
Ah, yeah. I see. Because I was going to say, there is like 2 people in Canberra and one of them is a rabbit. Like, I'm just going to say, it is so empty.
And one of them's our friend Jess. Shout out Jess. And Cobb. And everyone else. And Christy. And everyone else in Canberra. We love you.
Jessica,
Shout out to all of Waroni, actually. That's the Canberra production.
Shout out to Waroni. We love Waroni.
We do love Waroni very
Waroni is
hard.
our girlfriend publication.
Exactly. Okay, rapid fire, please, this time.
I'm just gonna, just go through my 3 resolutions. Which is, 1, learn to drive. It's finally time.
Thank fucking God.
It's finally time. My thing is, I've always had learn to drive in the resolutions, but it's always been on the bottom of the list.
This year's on the top?
Last year I ticked off 90% of my resolutions besides the other resolutions just carried over from last year. Last year I had 10 resolutions and I ticked off 8 of them. Was learn to drive and get married, but get married has just been rolling over in my resolutions every year.
That's so silly.
It's going to take some time.
And then my other one is be more organized. But that's always
fair. Okay, I'm going to go through my 2 very casual resolutions. One of them is to wear dresses more casually, because I feel like I only wear them to fancy events, and I feel like I should wear dresses more casually. I bought a really cute casual dress, I fixed up a really cute casual dress, and I have been wearing them more casually. And it also means I can do some retail therapy, which slaps. I also want to read more books. I'm currently failing on that. I used to be a big books reader. I'm struggling to remember to read books at this point in my life, but I'm trying really hard to get better at that.
We should do a silly hour segment on the worst books we've read, because just as a taster for next week.
Do you know about Model Land?
I do not. We'll get into it.
Oh, we'll get there.
But I was saying I've read 5 books this year. Keeping in mind it's not even the end of January.
Incredible.
And 3 of them were some of the worst books I've read in my life.
Okay, that's for next silly hour, friends.
Next silly hour, we're going to discuss the worst books we've ever read. I'm going to be dunking on Colleen Hoover the entire time.
I love myself too much to try reading Colleen Hoover.
Yeah, that's so true.
That's so fair. All right. And...
No, send us out.
Oh, send us out. Okay.
Okay, thank you for listening to Silly Hour.
That was so fun to be back.
I love being back here, guys. I love being girls on a couch.
It is great to be girls on a couch.
I
and
am
Afnan on a couch.
I am one of the girls.
You're
Come
honorarily
You
one.
are
I'm honorarily one of the girls. Thank you to Mia and Diya for joining us, and I hope you guys look forward to more of our silly shenanigans throughout the year.
Tune in next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello again. We are moving on to our next segment, which is going to be covering week tips and anecdotes and advice. I am joined by Mia once again.
Hello.
And Luke.
Hello.
So Mia, would you like to start us off?
I'd love to. I just want to talk a little bit about my first O-Week experience and some of the things that happened to me during that time as a little bit of a warning for you about what can happen at O-Week. It's not like a scary story or anything. There were just some things that happened that I wish hadn't, and I think that there's definitely a good reason to say this to you just so that you can avoid the same thing happening to you. I think it's really important to mention that at any uni, but especially at UNSW, it's an open campus, anyone can come on in, so not everything that you're going to see at O-Week is going to be affiliated with the uni or a club. It could be something that like a corporation has brought in, or it could just be a random guy off the street, and I had a bit of an experience with a random guy off the street. Someone came up to me and pretended like I had dropped something to kind of get me into a conversation with them, and then spent a very long time speaking to me about some kind of charity that he wanted me to donate to, and he spent a really long time talking to me, and I didn't know how to get out of the conversation, and I felt very pressured, and I did end up giving him money. And when I ended up on this mailing list, I think the charity's a scam. I'm actually not sure it's a real charity at all. So I just wanted to say, if you are having issues with anyone coming up to you, speaking to you, keeping you in conversations that you actively don't want to be in and don't feel comfortable, literally just say, I have somewhere else to be, and walk out of the conversation. I know it's hard. I find it hard too, but you can absolutely do it. It will be better for you in the end, because I had this happen to me a few times. And again, not to scare you, but obviously, O-Weeks are a big deal, and there are a lot of people out there that don't have your best interests at heart. If you're struggling to work out what might be uni affiliated, the best things to look for are UNSW logo, the ARC logo, anything clubs related, anything that has society after it, anything that says anything that would lead you to believe that it is university related. Look for that if you're wanting to make sure that it is actually approved by the uni or approved by a club.
Fantastic, thank you for that. What I would like to add to this is, when you're moving into O-Week, there's going to be a lot of clubs and stalls going into a lot of different topics and niches. UNSW has, I think, one of the largest, if not the largest, amount of clubs and societies out of, I think, all the New South Wales universities. We have something over 300 clubs and societies. So there's going to be a lot of things for you to explore. One thing I'd like to advise all incoming students and current students as well is to look for clubs that might put you not only into things that you already like and enjoy, but also are going to push you outside of your shell a little bit, outside of your comfort zone. Uni is a fantastic time for you to explore yourself as a person a lot more. So,
yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. I also just want to say to that, it is really daunting at O Week with so many people being around and so many stalls to go up to. If you see a stall that you really want to like go up to and think would be really good for you, definitely don't hesitate to do so. I really hesitated during my O Week to actually go up to people and join some clubs. I think that was a really big mistake for me, and it meant that like the friends I have now I could have met months earlier if I'd actually gone up to those stalls and really interacted with these people. But it was a really scary time and there were so many people around. So I would just say, if you want to do it, please try and break through the fear and go and do that, because it will make your like beginning of uni experience so much better. Additionally, I just want to say, like, if you can, go to as many things as possible in week one. You might think that everyone already knows each other, but those week one events are basically like friending schemes, essentially, just to like friend people quickly.
And also free food.
So true, free food. And it is really good to like branch out of your high school friend group, go to as much as you can, and then to commit to whatever sticks and whatever you actually like the crowd in.
Yeah, don't try to overcommit. I made that mistake. I joined 20 societies. I was only active in about 5.
May I also just add, because we have so many different clubs and societies, it may be worth coming over multiple days because, especially some of the smaller ones, there may not be a space for each club on every day.
That's so true.
So some of the smaller ones may only be available on one day or 1 or 2 days out of the 4.
It is really worth coming for many days because you will see a very different range of things on each day.
Yes, I believe there is a list somewhere up on the O Week website, and also if you go around looking at the socials for UNSW students especially, there is usually a list of what societies, or just a general idea of what larger societies will be available.
Yeah, that's super true.
Quickly, before we move on to more practical advice, guys, do you have any particular societies you'd like to plug?
Most definitely. I would love to plug, I am the president of the Society Queer Students in STEM. We have wonderful events weekly. Our event in week 1 is going to be Board Games Night, which is a lot of fun. We love having people show up. Please do. We also have a pancake picnic barbecue during O Week for all of the queer societies, and we're going to have a really good time during that. I also just want to separately plug, if you're into theatre, join the Nuts at UNSW. We love them, Theatre Society. They are fabulous. Love the president. They're really cool. Please join them if you're into theatre. Great people, good time. Additionally, you should join your collectives. If you're queer, if you're a woman, if you're ethnocultural in any way, join the ethnocultural club, join the women's club, join the queer collective. They're all fabulous clubs and they really get you into your culture or your group or whatever you want to do like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would also like to endorse that plug for Questions in STEM. I'm the secretary. I have been this is my 3rd year on the exec, so that as well. I've also previously been the events director for Wonderstock, so big shout out to that as well. They have a lot of lovely events going on, small walks around Sydney. Especially if you're new to Sydney and want to explore a bit more and get to make some friends, that's a really good way to do so.
Yeah, awesome.
Do you have anything you want to plug, Afnan?
Absolutely. First of all, Tabletop Game Society, for all of you burgeoning D&D fans, board game fans, trading card fans, and just anybody who likes to just chill out, have a good time, play some games with some friends. I believe there are weekly board game nights on Fridays. That was the norm last year. I believe it should be the same this year. Also, Taxoc Tea and Coffee Society. If you join, you get to come around every week and get some free tea or coffee before your next lecture. Save a little bit of money.
Fabulous societies. Thanks very much.
Yeah. All right, we're going to be moving on to Luke now.
This will upcoming be my 4th year at UNSW, so I've been around. And just some more practical tips. My first O Week, it was absolutely bucketing down. It was one of those periods where we had a couple of months worth of rain over the course of a week. So just be prepared for any weather eventualities. It can be really quite warm or raining, whatever. So do come prepared, have an umbrella, have a hat, that sort of thing. Keep hydrated. The other big one is if you're going to be joining clubs, please earlier get an account with the ARC membership portal, also previously known as Spark. That is the main way that us club executives deal with ARC, who is the big organisation that oversees all the co-curricular things at UNSW. This is not your UNSW email or account. It is something separate. Please get an account, and then you join your societies through there. It's important so that they have updated club lists, how many people go to each event, that sort of thing.
Also, just like if you want to join a club to like get their messages or whatever it is at O Week, like that's how you do that. So make sure that you have a membership in advance as opposed to doing it on the spot, because it just takes a lot of time.
Yes, definitely. As sort of outside, going into week 1 and beyond, definitely take O Week to get familiar with your surroundings. Have an explore of campus, get to know sort of where things are, roughly how far apart things are. It's quite a small campus, but it is on a bit of a hill. It may take longer than first appears. That being said, at O Week there may be there's a lot of stalls and tents and other such things for the clubs and other things that may be difficult for you to familiarise yourself with certain landmarks where some things may appear.
Just to add to that, the university looks very different during O Week than it does during week 1. If you're struggling to find something that you could find really easily in O Week, it's likely because there was a landmark there that is now gone, because we have tents, we have inflatable things. As Luke said, there's a lot going on. So just make sure that you sort of know where you are in general, and then in week 1, if you're struggling a little bit, it might just help you a little bit more, but there will be some things that like will look a little bit different, is all you need to know.
Yep, as well, most of the buildings should be open, so I highly recommend working out where your classrooms are, especially, is a big tip of mine. A lot of your buildings are quite old or complex. Like, for example, if you go into one corner of a building, you won't necessarily be able to access everything within that thing. Some things may only be accessible by a certain entrance or a certain door. That's something to look out for. Big plug to, if you go on Google UNSW student maps, they have the big PDF one, but they also have an interactable online map which shows the interior building layout of all the classrooms and all the corridors and whatnot. So if you get lost beforehand or are unsure where something is, that's a great way to familiarise yourself with where things are.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you for the advice. Just to round it out, just a few things to add. There are sort of 3 major cafeteria areas that for those who are coming on for longer days, you might want to familiarize yourself with, especially if you need that quick little caffeine boost in between lectures. I believe that is all the time we have for this week. Thank you for tuning into our very first Make Some Noise podcast episode for the year, and we hope you'll be joining us for all the rest.